Welcome to the setup instructions for our high and low air pressure and high liquid waste level alarms. This is the model HL-PHL, which monitors air pump and airline pressure, as well as wastewater level in residential septic tanks. If the air pressure exceeds the normal range for a linear diaphragm pump, the red siren will sound its alarm, signifying that you have a complete or partial clog in your airline due to pinched lines or obstruction of the airline diffuser at the bottom of the septic tank. If, on the other hand, the air pressure drops below 1 psi, the yellow siren you see here will sound off and will signify that either your air pump is no longer functioning or that you have a break in your airline. This alarm also monitors the liquid wastewater level in the septic tank and warns when the level rises, signifying a clogged drain field, or if there is a lift station, a sump pump failure. This is the model HL-PHLW. It does the same as the model HL-PHL, but in addition to the siren alarm at the pump shown here, it also has a wireless siren alarm that will sound off in your home, wherever you might plug it in within 300 feet of the air pump. The beauty of these alarms is that there is nothing to program or to maintain and no batteries to replace. So let's see how simple it is to set these alarms up. For the purposes of this instruction, we will show you the installation using the model HL-PHLW wireless alarm, as the setup for both is basically the same. Let's first take a look at how to set up the air pressure part of this alarm. The first step is to connect the 1/8 inch vinyl hose to your airline system. Most septic air pumps have a barbed air takeoff port. The high blow pumps have an air port at the base on the side. The blue diamond pumps have the port on the bottom of their pumps as shown here. If you don't have an air takeoff port on your particular air pump, no worries. We provide a 1/2 inch bar PVC adapter with each alarm, and this is how to hook it up. See how simple? For the wireless siren, all you have to do is plug it in. There is no programming required. You will see that when you plug it in, it will blink the siren once to signify that it is armed and in standby. Now you just plug in the alarm unit with your air pump plugged in as well. By the way, the other gadget here is an overpressure safety valve that you can also buy on this website. We discussed this in another video. Now to show you how it all works, I have a valve that I can change the pressure with. At the moment I have it set so that the air pressure reads about 2 psi, which is within the range of normal working pressure for linear diaphragm air pumps. I'm adjusting the pressure down now, and as you can see, at right around 1 psi, both the outside and indoor alarms are sounding off. So as not to complicate things, we do not have an on and off and test switches. All you do is unplug your alarms until you have corrected the low air pressure problem. For this video, I will just turn the plug receptacle off to reset the alarm. Now as I increase the air pressure by shutting off the valve, the safe range of pressure is indicated in that neither the high or low pressure alarms have been set off. As I turn the pressure up to about 3 psi, the high pressure alarm will sound off as you see here. For this video, I will just turn the plug receptacle off to reset the alarm. When you actually receive your alarm for the first time, the simple test is to just plug it in without hooking up the vinyl tubing. Since there will be no air pressure, the alarm siren will activate just like this. Now let's take a look at how to set up the liquid waste level float switch part of this alarm. The first step is to uncoil the 50-foot brown ground wire provided and lay it out on the ground from the nearest electrical receptacle to your septic tank or lift station. Then cut it to the appropriate length and strip the 2 wires. Before going further, you will need to thread the float switch cord through the yellow plastic weight. The weight should be approximately 12 inches from the float switch. Make sure you tie wrap the cord at both ends of the yellow weight to make sure that it does not move. Now strip the two wire ends from both the ground wire and float switch cord. Thread the heat shrink tubing on one side and then join them together with the silicone-filled wire nuts provided. It doesn't matter which wire goes with which, as all you are doing is switching power. Last, slip the heat shrink tubing over the wire nuts and shrink it down with a heater gun. When all is done, it should look like this. If you will be using the float switch with a lift station rather than a septic tank, you will not need the yellow weight, as you will be tie wrapping the float switch cord to the vertical discharge PVC pipe coming from the sump pump. Please refer to the video Residential Septic Systems 101. And by the way, since you will be plugging in your outside alarm at the lift station 110 volt receptacle, where you will also be plugging in your sump pump, here's a tip. Buy a corded GFI breaker cord like this one. Then just plug your sump pump plug into it before plugging the GFI cord into the common 110 volt receptacle. In this way, if the sump pump burns out and pops the corded GFI breaker, the high-level alarm will still have current to sound the alarm. Okay, let's get back to testing out the alarm system. Plug the alarm at the 110 volt receptacle nearest the tank outside, and then plug in the wireless red siren anywhere you like inside your house. You will see when the siren is plugged in that it will blink its light and sound off once to indicate it is armed. For the purposes of this video, I will just be switching the plug on like this. As you see, it is armed. Now let's take a look at how you set up the float switch in your septic tank. After you plug in the alarm, you will be inserting your float switch down the 6-inch diameter PVC inspection pipe of your tank. If there is no such pipe on your particular septic system, just give me a call and I will give you some alternate installation instructions. For this video, we will show how this all looks with the water tank. So imagine you are letting the float switch down your 6-inch pipe. Keep lowering it until the yellow weight causes the float switch to stand on end and activate the alarm just like this. Mark the height with some tape as I have done here and lift the switch completely out of the liquid to reset the alarm. You will need to unplug your indoor siren as it will continue to sound off from the first activation. Now repeat letting the float cord down to your mark to make sure the alarm will sound off, and you will see that it does. The last step is to take the float switch out once more so that it resets and then lower it down, at this time, to a point about 5 inches higher than where the float switch is presently activating, like this. Fasten it off, and your high liquid level alarm is set up. I hope you have understood the setup instructions and have had all your questions answered. If not, first go to the video Residential Septic Systems 101 for a review of how it all looks in your septic tank. Then, if you still have problems, give me a call at 225-715-5784, and I will be glad to help you.